Yang kami hormati Dr. Rahman, Dr. Rahman, Sosial, Fakultas. Yang kami hormati Bapak Ibu dosen di lingkungan Universitas Negeri Semarang, serta Bapak mahasiswa yang kami banggakan. Puji syukur, marilah kita panjatkan kehadirat Allah SWT, karena pada hari ini kita masih diberi kesehatan untuk mengikuti acara workshop berkaitan dengan penyusunan proposal penelitian kerjasama dengan luar negeri. Adapun susunan acara yang akan kita lalui pada hari ini, yang pertama adalah pembukaan, kemudian yang kedua adalah sambutan dan pembukaan acara oleh Bapak Dekan Fakultas Ilmu Sosial. Kemudian yang ketiga adalah penyampaian tujuan dari acara ini oleh Bapak Dr. Iko Handoyo selaku tim dari BCP. Dan yang keempat, penyampaian materi dari Dr. Atta Rahman. Yang kelima adalah sesi tanya jawab, dan yang keenam marilah kita buka acara pada pagi hari ini dengan membaca basmalah bersama-sama. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Acara kedua adalah sambutan dan pembukaan dari Bapak Dekan Fakultas Ilmu Sosial.
Good morning, the Honorable Mr. Atta and Mr. Ekwandoyo, all the participants. I think it's good chance for us to learn with Mr. Atta Rahman. Sorry sir, maybe I can't speak English well as like Miss Prof. Devi or Mr. Satya or Mr. Ekwandoyo that very fluent in telling this as like Mr. Geografi too, but maybe I try to speak English, so not all, but only little. Maybe I will speak in English more than in English. Bapak Ibu yang saya hormati, saya berterima kasih sekali. Thanks for Miss Devi, Mrs. Devi, that very serious to accompany us and support for all the professors and others in social sciences faculty. That is very important if we learn about jurnal, study article in international journal, to send in international journal. Jadi saya mohon kepada Bapak Ibu sekalian untuk lebih serius sebenarnya. Tidak hanya artikel nampaknya yang diprogram oleh Bu Dewi, tapi juga penulisan ilmiah, riset dan sebagainya. Ini adalah hal yang sangat sulit sebenarnya kalau dilakukan tanpa dengan perencanaan yang matang ya. Saya juga melihat ada sejumlah teman muda yang menjadi pendukung seperti Pak April ini dan Mas Satya, kemudian Kak Webnya juga mendukung, Bapak Ibu semua di jurusan, dan juga ada staf ahli rektor Pak Ekwandoyo. Ini langkah yang sangat baik kalau dilanjutkan. Kalau bisa memang Bapak Ibu Profesor yang berpartisipasi lebih banyak, tapi kalau beliau tidak memungkinkan aktif, maka teman-teman yang doktor, kalau teman-teman yang doktor masih kurang, ditambah juga yang teman-teman terutama pengelola jurnal, seperti dari jurnal di jurusan sejarah, pengelola jurnal sejarah, pengelola jurnal jurusan geografi, pengelola jurnal di jurusan PKN, Sosial. Ini saya kira perlu juga untuk paham, karena ini bisa menjadi dinamisatornya. Di samping orang yang secara alami itu memang mempunyai interesting yang tinggi untuk menulis artikel-artikel. Ini hasil penelitian saya pada beberapa tahun yang lalu. Puncak terproduktif dari beberapa dosen yang ada di UNES itu di dalam penulisan ilmiah dari artikel maupun buku dan karya-karya ilmiah itu sebenarnya di angka umur 35 sampai 45 tahun. Itu puncaknya rata-rata yang paling rajin ya. Setelah itu mulai agak menurun. Dan setelah angka 60 penurunannya mulai signifikan ya. Setelah menurun mulai signifikan. Dan yang agaknya saya kaget juga, yang paling produktif lagi itu bukan doktornya dan juga bukan profesornya, tapi justru magisternya yang paling produktif. Tapi kalau dilihat dari prosentasenya mungkin doktornya, tapi dari segi jumlah itu ternyata dari para magister. Secara kualitatif ternyata saya menemukan ada alasannya ternyata, karena yang profesor, doktor itu banyak yang sudah meraih pada titik kemapanan secara ekonomi, kemudian secara peran ya, banyak yang sudah menjadi pejabat, dan secara umum itu yang sudah mulai banyak bergulat dengan balsem dan minyak angin ya. Sehingga untuk tangguh pada malam hari bekerja keras itu sudah tidak kuat lagi begitu. Oleh karena itu barangkali kalau dokternya masih di bawah usia 45 itu memang akan puncak saya kira itu. Apalagi oleh profesornya dulu. Tapi kalau sudah 60 memang bukan faktor profesor, tapi faktor umur yang berperan ya. Sebenarnya menurut saya nasihat dari Profesor Dodi Nandika pada saat beliau masih menjadi kepala litbang Kemdikbud pada waktu itu, saya masih terngiang-ngiang, yang paling indah kerjasama sebenarnya ada di perguruan tinggi, karena dosen senior seperti profesor, lektor kepala itu bisa bermitra dengan dosen junior yang masih asisten ahli dan lektor. Mereka bisa diajak bekerja sama untuk membangun ide-ide menjadi bahan-bahan riset dan pada akhirnya menjadi karya-karya ilmiah. Kemudian ketika dosen muda ternyata juga masih terbatas waktunya, kata Prof. Dodi itu masih bisa sprint lagi ke mahasiswa semester akhir, dan bahkan mahasiswa yang pernah mengambil mata kuliah penelitian. Sehingga dengan cara seperti ini kita bisa bekerja sama. Saya mencoba mempraktekkan seperti itu, ternyata agak lumayan, meskipun saya masih sambil kuliah, sambil jadi dekan, itu ternyata saya masih belum terlalu tertinggal dengan cara bekerja sama. Ide dari saya misalnya, kemudian metodologi dan beberapa saya munculkan, kemudian teman-teman dosen muda mengembangkan lebih lanjut dengan kreativitasnya, diperkaya, dan mahasiswa memperkaya lagi. Akhirnya kemarin terakhir penelitian saya yang didanai Dikti masih tembus juga, Cuma saya memang kewalahan terus terang gitu ya. Secara fisikal itu juga berat, tapi ini dengan kolaborasi yang baik ternyata beberapa kali bisa lolos. Termasuk ketika awal saya kuliah di Undip itu, saya berkolaborasi model kerucut seperti itu, dari dosen kemudian ke dosen muda ke mahasiswa. Itu juga lolos, meskipun saya pontang-panting pada waktu itu hampir kapok penelitian di Danai Dikti karena polanya berubah dengan laporan-laporan administrasi dengan logbook yang sangat ketat. Itu justru saya lebih berat memikirkan logbooknya daripada memikirkan akademiknya pada waktu itu. Sehingga saya tahun kedua kuliah itu sudah agak berani lagi masuk ke daerah logbook. Maka saya mengundurkan diri untuk tidak penelitian dengan dana dari Dikti yang secara ide itu bisa. Artinya Bapak Ibu sekalian, kalau kolaborasi yang dikatakan Pak Dodi Nandika itu dipraktekkan, dosen senior, dosen junior, dan dengan para mahasiswa itu jalan, itu bisa tetap berkarya kita itu. Dari mulai riset, artikel, sampai buku itu bisa dilahirkan. Tapi kalau bekerja sendiri kita nggak mampu berbuat banyak, karena kita sesungguhnya banyak keterbatasan. Ketika dilepas sendiri, kita ternyata bukan apa-apa dan bukan siapa-siapa, terlalu banyak kelemahan. Saya bangga ini Bu Dewi berkolaborasi dengan beberapa dosen muda dan dosen senior, kemudian dengan cara berkolaborasi begini ini, pekerjaan yang sesungguhnya sangat berat ini menjadi bisa berjalan. Hanya sesungguhnya yang paling penting nanti mungkin pesertanya, kalau tadi saya lihat lebih banyak diorientasikan ke doktor, mungkin nanti magister pilihan, magister pilihan yang mengelola jurnal mungkin akan pilihan nanti ya, seperti Mas Sabit mungkin. Terus kalau ada yang Mbak Asma itu mengelola jurnal itu militan juga itu. Tipikal itu mungkin Mbak Aryani barang ini orang yang sangat dikenal militannya itu, dari Loh Mahfud sudah kelihatan militannya itu kelihatan sekali. Jadi saya kira sangat bagus begitu melibatkan yang formal adalah para doktor. Pak Eko saya kira salah satu yang diharapkan dengan beberapa teman muda. Kemudian yang sedang S3 yang memungkinkan Bu Martin ini di Undip ini gaungnya sangat kedengaran gitu ya. Ya, jadi saya kira termasuk Mbak Puji itu bisa juga diatur kalau pas sempat itu teman-teman yang itu bisa dilibatkan. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much. Tidak bisa. Thank you kami Profesor Rahman and Profesor Mahfudi, the rector in Unimus ya. Jadi saya lanjutkan. I speak not only in Indonesia but in English only little ya. But more in Indonesia. That's why I said to Mr. Atta Rahman, I try to speak Indonesia more. Saya lanjutkan, dari ideal sekali ini acara yang dirintis oleh Bu Dewi dan kawan-kawan. Karena itu saya mohon ini dimanfaatkan dengan hasil akhirnya nanti kalau bisa karya dari para peserta, dan yang sangat diharapkan tentu dari para profesor, kemudian dari para doktor kita, dan bisa mendorong teman-teman yang sudah doktor ini, seperti Pak Eko itu, bayangan saya sama Pak Juwadi itu tahun 2018 nanti sudah usulkan karena sebenarnya saya tahu betapa potensinya beliau itu ya. Dari sisi teorinya banyak sekali ya. Pak Eko itu dengan teori-teori sosial, kosmonya itu sering sekali dimunculkan. Pak Juwadi itu dengan teori-teorinya yang sering sekali disampaikan tentang perubahan, ya itu saya kira bagus juga nanti direalisasi. Dan Pak Hamdan saya kira dengan teori sistem yang sudah dikumandangkan di mana-mana, kalau tidak diwujudkan dalam karya saya kira kemana-mana. Karena itu di samping teman-teman profesor, doktor yang sedang S3, kemudian pengelola jurnal, saya kira kalau ini memungkinkan, Prof Dewi, saya usulkan kalau teman-teman profesor tidak maksimal yang memanfaatkan, mungkin bisa dimanfaatkan oleh yang kader berikutnya. Seperti saya usulkan nulis buku, diutamakan yang profesor, dan alhamdulillah seluruh profesor kemarin menulis. Untuk tahun berikutnya nanti doktor, tahun berikutnya nanti magister terpilih. Magister itu yang terpilih, yang sudah terpilih tidak, kalau nanti khawatir kalau tidak serius gitu. Tapi kalau yang profesor pastilah serius, karena itu istilahnya punya perguruan tinggi. Kalau tidak serius terus siapa lagi yang mau diharapkan? Baik Bapak Ibu sekalian, target Bu Dewi ini salah satu yang diharapkan adalah bisa melahirkan atau menghasilkan karya-karya ilmiah berupa artikel yang bisa dikirim ke jurnal internasional terindeks fokus, dan mungkin nanti buku-buku ilmiah atau riset kerjasama dengan lintas negara mungkin ya Bu Dewi ya. Itu nanti mohon didukung dengan pola yang saya usulkan tadi, dengan pola saran dari Prof. Nandika ya, Prof. Dodi Nandika dulu, dengan kerucut profesor sebagai leader ya, sebagai lokomotifnya, dengan di backup oleh tenaga-tenaga yang lebih muda, dan kalau perlu berakar pada mahasiswa juga, sehingga ini akan lebih tangguh insya Allah gitu ya. Baik Bapak Ibu sekalian yang saya hormati, saya itu di sini ibarat Pak Mas Ruki itu sering nasihati Pak Mus itu hanya ibarat lilin, sering sekali percaya tapi dirinya kebakar katanya kalau balik gitu ya. Artinya sering ngomong tapi tidak ikut. Itu ditegur oleh Pak Mas Ruki ketika beliau sebagai mubalik, 5 takulu nama latat malu. Ada Pak Mas Ruki itu mengapa mengatakan yang tidak dikerjakan itu paling takut kalau ada Pak Mas Ruki, karena kali-kali ya. Ketika saya nasihati Bapak Ibu sekalian untuk hadir dan mengajak untuk aktif, ini saya sudah ditunggu di beberapa jurusan, Bu Dewi juga tahu, dan karena itu ketika saya bicara tidak ikut. Ini yang saya kalau ada Pak Mas Ruki, kemarin ayatnya gimana sudah diamalkan dulu. Karena beliau balik terkenal. Dai in English ya, messenger ya. Ya, dari pesan ya. Baik, saya kira itu Bapak Ibu yang saya hormati. Kita buka acara pada pagi hari dengan bacaan basmalah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Acara kita nyatakan dibuka dan dimulai sudah beberapa waktu yang lalu, tapi ini secara formalnya saja. Thanks for all the participants. I please you to follow this ceremony and activity. I think it's good for us, for all of the lecturer in Social Sciences faculty, not only for the professors. So in this time for magisters or doctor, I think it's very good. Yeah. Thank you very much. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Kita lanjutkan acara. Selanjutnya adalah sambutan atau penyampaian tujuan dari kegiatan ini dari Bapak Dr. Eko Handoyo selaku tim dari BCP, program BCP ini. Kepada Bapak Dr. Eko,
Mr. Satya for Honorable Mr. Atta for Rahman from the Semarang City for coming, and audience from Negeri, from Rahman and the others audience. Of course, I speak English not too good, but I try to speak English by doing. And of this meeting, we hope Mr. Atta give me strategy to improve our competence to make collaboration research. Maybe we make very well research in Indonesia, and we cooperation with lecturers in Southeast Asia, and especially Peshawar University after this meeting. I think enough. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat datang buat Bapak Ibu semuanya. Saya akan menyampaikan pengantar sebelum Dr. Atta melakukan presentasi tentang collaborative and competitive research proposal. Bagaimana kita bisa menulis dan menghasilkan proposal yang kompetitif, terutama untuk kerjasama internasional. So before we start the presentation, I would like to introduce Dr. Atta Rahman. So I will read his curriculum vitae. Nama Dr. Atta Rahman. He got his MSc in Geography, MSc in Urban Planning and Regional Planning, MPhil in Environmental Geography, and also he did his postdoctoral in disaster risk reduction in Kyoto University. Tempat tanggal lahir Peshawar, Pakistan. Tempat tanggal lahirnya rahasia. Jabatan Associate Professor, pendidikan terakhir PhD in 2008 and postdoc 2014 in Japan. Instansi University of Peshawar, Pakistan. Alamat kantor Department of Geography, University of Peshawar, Pakistan. So, Dr. Atta, please, time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you. Respected faculty members of the Social Science, Head of the Department, Geography Department, young faculty members, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Regarding the collaborative and competitive research proposal, today I will talk on the three different types of proposals. Three presentations are there, short presentations are there. One presentation is on the Higher Education Commission research project proposal. I will give you the background and then I will show you the project already submitted to this HEC research project proposal grant. And then after finishing this part, each and every project, it is submitted to the blind reviewers whether it is feasible for acceptance or not. So each presentation has a reviewing rating part as well. First presentation is on this, second presentation is on the two countries collaborative projects, that is Pakistan and US. This is a joint research program. I will focus on that program as well. And the third one, that is one of the research projects submitted by my master student, and she got the research grant from the university. So these three small presentations are there. First of all, the Higher Education Commission research project proposal. Each organization has its own pro forma for the research project proposal. But most of the research projects, they have similar motives, similar objectives. National Research Program, almost all the projects, they have the title of the proposed project. You know, the topic of the project or research project, it's really very important. If you design proper research project title, it will catch the reader. Best topic, beautiful topic, attractive topic, it usually attract the readers, attract the reviewers, and attract those who provide grants for the research projects. So title is very, very important component of any research project. Then the second part is the project digest or the executive summary of the proposed project. What this project contains and what will be the impact of this project, what is the rationale of this project, and what are the justification of this project, what is the motive behind this project. So this is the second part of the project digest, project summary. Then comes the project goals and objectives. So means after getting and after successful completion of this project, what will be its impacts on the society, on the community, its reflections on the national economy, on the socio-economic sectors. So this is another part of the project. Then comes the introduction of the project. That is the brief introduction of the project. Then background and justification of the problem addressed. This part is very important one. Background of the project. This background here means that support your research project by already conducted research, already literature, available literature. If you have the available literature, based on this background data, you will find the gap. Where is the gap in the research? And you are trying to fill that gap. So for that gap, you need background information or justification of this study. Means, what is the level of this research? To what extent so far the scientist has done their research, and what is the area or the gap or the loophole or the area you want to fill that. So this is one of the most important part of the research project, and this is the selling point of the research project. Here you will support your area, like for example in research thesis or in research paper writing. You support your idea by literature review, and this background is actually that part of your research project. Then come research plan or methodology. Research plan, sometimes the research plan it is divided. So I mean the research plan or research methodology, sometimes research is divided into different phases. Like for example, you have 3-year research project proposal, and you divide this into different phases. In 1 year I will do this phase, in 2nd year I will do this phase, and in 3rd year I will do this phase. So you can also divide your research project phase-wise. I will show you some of the examples, how phase-wise research are carried out, research projects, and then the methodology. So different types of methodologies are applied. Means in the methodology means the data collection sources, from where you will collect data in order to achieve the target of this research project. I means the primary data source, the secondary data source, and what other data source will be there in order to fulfill the requirements for the research project. So this is very important part, the research methodology part. And then after collecting the data, it needs to be analyzed. So for analysis, what type of tool you will use, whether you will use the GIS and remote sense, whether you will use it the statistical package for the social scientists, or you will use some other packages in order to properly and effectively analyze your data and present your results in a proper way. So this is the methodology part. So each and every research project proposal, it has the research methodology as well. I already given this presentation to Mr. Satya. He will give you the printout of these presentations if you need it. So Mr. Satya, you can, if they need the presentations, they will give you the printout of this presentation. It is available with Mr. Satya. So the research plan and methodology part. Then comes the impact of the proposed project. This is very important one, very, very important one, particularly in the social science field. I mean, the impact of the proposed project on the community, on the society, on the local area, on the institutional strengthening or the institutional development, or establishing new lab in the department, in the faculty, or collaborative linkages with the international organization, or we will purchase some new instrument for the department. So what will be the impact of this project on the community, on the organizations, on the collaborative linkages, on the national economy, on the industrial sector? So this is very important part of the project, impact of the proposed project. Then comes the collaborative organizations. This is also very important part of the project, collaborating organization. Like for example, you are working on certain projects, and within that scenario, there is at national level, there is specific organization handling that area. So collaborative organizations. Let me quote an example of collaborative organization. You are working on the climate, you are working on the climate change, you are working on the meteorology, you are working on climatology, you are working on atmospheric sciences. So you take into consideration the meteorology department. So this meteorology department is actually your collaborating organization. Then comes the available facility. To be able to fulfill this project with the available resources, do you have the capacity in your department, in your organization? Like for example, you have designed a research project, and for that project you need efficient labs, you need the computer system, you need the GIS softwares, you need the scanners, you need the plotters, you need the satellite data. So all these things means whether the available facilities, it fulfill the requirements of your project, or you need something more instrument in order to fulfill the requirements of this project. So means labs, instrument, equipment, scientific person, is experts already there or not? Then budget for the proposed research. Very important one. Very, very important one. Sometimes people design research project without any justification. They give certain budgetary heads. Like for example, they are working on literature part of the research project. They are working on the literature part, but they add the field work, means the component of field work. So I mean, whatever is required, please aid only that part in the project budget. Like for example, Andrea, students' involvement. Remember, at university level, whenever projects are submitted to any organization, please do it that with this project, I will produce one master student, two master student, one doctorate student. So try to link this with the community development, institutional strengthening. That will help you. And this is the positive implications of research projects. That I have this project, this part will be covered by master student, this part will be covered by doctorate student, and I will need these experts as well. So this is another part of the budget or revenue. So student involvement is very important for the academic research projects. Then comes the permanent equipments. Whether you need some more equipments or there is shortage of equipments. Like for example, in your department there are GPS, but you are working on very precise coordinates area. Like for example, you want to measure the movement of tectonic plates. And that tectonic plate is only feasible and felt if you have differential GPS data. So now here, you have GPS, you have standard GPS, but for that matter you need differential GPS system. So here you can propose that in equipments, permanent equipments, we have the GPS system, but that is standard GPS with a standard error of 1 meter, with a standard error of 2 meters, but I need very much precise movement of the tectonic plates that may be in millimeter, that may be in centimeter, so I need precise information. So here you can justify that I need this type of instrument, and that instrument, here you can justify. Later on it will become part of the department, and in future that instrument can be used by the students for their academic activities. Then comes the literature, books. What other things you need? Like for example, developing countries, they don't have their satellites. We usually depend on advanced countries' satellite data. Like for example, we have Earth resource satellites, but we don't have the SAR data, synthetic aperture radar data. So for that very reason, we need here satellite images. Sometimes we need high spatial resolution data. So for that very reason, you can specify here that we specifically need the high resolution images. So you can put here the cost of that images. So that will later on become part of your department. Then you can see the contingency or stationary fieldwork. So the cost on fieldwork, the traveling cost, you can see here the traveling expenditure, and similarly the miscellaneous. So these are some of the areas which you can put as the major heads, and under these heads you can add so many subheads according to your requirements, according to your demands. Like for example, there is one permanent equipments, you can add so many subheads under these equipments, that I need instrument, meteorological instrument, I need the soil instrument, I need the geological instrument, I need the environmental kits. So these so many things you can add under the head of the permanent equipments.
Oke, saya akan membantu untuk sedikit membantu menerjemahkan. Jadi seperti dia sebutkan tadi, dia akan menyampaikan kurang lebih 3 contoh proposal kolaborasi internasional dari 3 jenis organisasi yang berbeda. Namun meskipun ketiga-tiganya biasanya memiliki format masing-masing, tapi biasanya kurang lebih sama formatnya dari yang akan dia sampaikan. Di sini dia menyebutkan ada beberapa poin penting dalam riset kolaborasi, khususnya kolaborasi internasional. Yang pertama, yang paling penting adalah judul, karena judul itu yang pertama kali dilihat ya, jadi itu harus eye-catching, dan eye-catching dan juga mewakili dari isi proposalnya, jadi harus komprehensif. Yang kedua adalah project summary, jadi bagaimana kita bisa membangun atau membuat ringkasan dari project kita agar lebih menarik dan ketika dibaca bisa mewakili dari isi proposal tersebut. Yang selanjutnya adalah project goals atau objektif. Tujuan dari proposal yang kita ajukan itu apa sih, dan semasif apa dampak yang bisa dihasilkan dari kegiatan yang akan kita lakukan. Kemudian introduction, pengantar bagaimana kita membangun metodologinya. Kemudian background and justification of problem addresses. Jadi kalau tadi dia menyebutkan bahwa akan lebih baik sebelum kita menyusun sebuah proposal, akan lebih baik kalau kita melakukan literatur review. Jadi kita bisa mengumpulkan data dari berbagai macam jurnal, karena disebutkan bahwa jurnal itu akan lebih up to date dibanding dengan sumber yang lain. kita membandingkan dari misalkan ada beberapa jurnal yang dihasilkan 5 atau 10 tahun terakhir. Nah, dari beberapa jurnal itu, dari beberapa hasil penelitian sebelumnya, kita coba untuk menemukan gap. Kira-kira apa sih yang belum diteliti dari penelitian-penelitian sebelumnya. Jadi fulfill the gap, jadi mengisi gap yang kira-kira belum diteliti. Kemudian research plan and methodology. Selanjutnya impact of the proposed project. Jadi impact yang di sini yang dijelaskan oleh Dr. Atta di sini adalah benefitnya. Apakah benefit yang akan dihasilkan dari kegiatan ini? Apakah itu berdampak positif kepada masyarakat, pembangunan masyarakat, ataukah membawa kemajuan untuk universitas dan lain sebagainya? Selanjutnya adalah collaborative organization. Jadi dengan siapa kita akan bekerja sama dalam proposal ini. Selanjutnya available facilities, lab, instrument, equipment, scientific personnel. Jadi terkadang kita punya ide, kita punya gagasan, kita punya proposal yang bagus, tapi kita masih belum didukung oleh orang-orang yang ahli di bidangnya, ataupun misalkan kalau dalam bidang saintik itu adalah laboratorium. Jadi kita bisa mengajukan proposal kerjasama misalkan dengan lembaga penelitian atau universitas lain yang mereka memiliki orang-orang yang berkompeten ataupun laboratorium yang lebih lengkap dibanding dengan yang kita miliki. Jadi simbiosis mutualisme, saling menguntungkan, kita sama-sama belajar. Selanjutnya adalah yang terakhir itu adalah budget for the purpose research period. Kalau mungkin sekarang, kalau nggak salah sekarang nggak boleh dicantumkan honorarium ya, kalau pas itu ya. Jadi so Atta in Indonesia we have like a different format for this. Whenever we submit like research proposal, it's prohibited for us to add the honorarium. So it means there is no honorarium for us. Ada honorarium, ada student involvement. Jadi akan lebih baik ketika kita punya satu proyek itu kita melibatkan mahasiswa, baik itu mahasiswa S2 maupun S3, bisa juga S1. Jadi kita saling membantu ya. Jadi mungkin mahasiswa itu bisa kita berdayakan untuk membantu kegiatan kita. Mereka pun bisa menggunakan data-data penelitian kita untuk tesis ataupun disertasinya. Kita bisa melanjutkan proyek kita. Jadi ada jadi tidak cuma hanya kita yang mendapatkan proyek, tapi juga mahasiswa bisa menambah pengalaman mereka, bisa membantu mereka juga. Paling tidak dia bilang satu proyek minimal satu mahasiswa yang bisa. Selanjutnya adalah permanent equipment. Nah, permanent equipment ini dia cerita kalau misalkan kita punya alat yang kita butuhkan untuk proyek kita, tapi alat kita masih bersifat standar. Bagaimana kita bisa mengajukan alat yang misalkan dengan teknologi yang lebih tinggi, sehingga ketika proyek ini selesai, kemudian alat-alat tersebut bisa menjadi milik kita, atau maksudnya milik laboratorium atau milik departemen kita. Jadi selanjutnya masih bisa kita manfaatkan. Itu salah satu cara untuk kita mendapatkan alat-alat yang high quality atau high technology dengan mengajukan proposal kolaborasi. Tentunya juga kita bisa belajar bagaimana cara mengoperasikan dari alat-alat tersebut dengan sharing dengan university atau lembaga partner kita. Selanjutnya literatur, books, maps, and image sudah dijelaskan tadi. Detail literatur apa yang kita butuhkan, karena biasanya ketika kita membangun sebuah kerjasama dengan baik itu universitas maupun lembaga lain, kita akan sharing literatur, buku, dan jika kita membutuhkan data-data yang lebih lengkap, insya Allah mereka akan membantunya. Kemudian stationery, alat tulis biasa, field work, dia menyebutkan berapa hari mungkin kita bisa pergi ke lapangan, biasanya itu kayak kerja lapangan ya. Selanjutnya travel expense, perjalanan, dan kemudian yang kebutuhan lainnya harus dijelaskan secara detail, secara spesifik. alat-alat apa saja yang kita butuhkan, gunanya untuk apa saja, spesifikasinya seperti apa, kurang lebih begitu.
Given the opportunity to the researchers, whenever they want, they launch this EB fly instrument, and they can get the real-time image of the inundated area and flood situation, landsliding, or any emergency situation. But here you can see the rapid mapping, means it is the real-time remote sensing. And then the second one, after getting this data, linking this to the web-based GIS system, means putting that data on the internet so that everybody, every organization get the realization that what is going on in the emergency area. So first, launching the EB fly, and then getting that data, analyzing that data, and then putting that data on the web GIS. It was the basic purpose of this project. It was a very important project, but it has two components. One, the real-time remote sensing data, another, putting the analyzed results on the web-based GIS system. So that two component, it was analyzed by this person. And you can see here the research domain was in the engineering and technology science. The area was the remote sensing and GIS, based on the natural disaster management and rehabilitation project. It's a little bit advanced research. Okay, here you can see the project digest. So this is the executive summary of this project. He's trying to support his idea, his research proposal by citing the scientific literature. He's giving the scientific literatures that where this is going on and how this will support this GIS-based decision support system. Then this was the first part of the research project proposal, and then from here the detailed project proposal starts. So here first the project summary, that how effective natural disaster management mitigation requires a timely action by the response team. So means the emergency response stage is very important for the, and using the latest satellite-based remote sensing data and how it can be made available to the rest of the community who are already working in the emergency response management. Project detail are there, then proposed goals and objectives are there. Try to design project goals and objectives that should be quantifiable. You can quantify it, you can measure it. Otherwise it will be difficult for you to justify your research project. I mean, research project goals and objectives, it should be measurable and quantifiable. Then comes the detailed introduction. In this introduction, you can see here some of the scientific hypotheses, the commercial basis of this academic project, and then providing the precise nature of the project, and then finally the justification is given regarding this project. So this is the introduction part of the research project. Background of the research problems to be addressed. Why you are trying to conduct this research project? Where is the problem? Where is the problem statement? And you want to fill that. Where is the problem? Usually in developing countries, we do not have the real-time remote sensing data. In remote areas, usually disasters occurs and we don't have access to that remote areas. In order to cope with this problem, this is one of the idea is UAV, you can use it and you can collect the real-time data and what is going on in that remote areas. You can fly that in that area and you can collect the real-time situation data. Where is road blocked by the landslide? So for that very reason, you cannot go everywhere. So you can fly this aerial vehicle and you can collect the real-time information about the area. So this is one of the most important thing for the And then sometimes the rescuers, they need the real-time data, whether it is possible for you to reach to the rescue area, to reach to the emergency point or not. So for that very reason, they also need this information. So I mean, distributing that same information on the web page, it is another very important area of this research project. You want to explain something? It's okay, I think. Okay? Yeah, only the explanation. Geography. Do you need April to talk to you or not? I think it's okay. It's okay. So this is the background of the research problem. Geography, right? I'm just giving you example. Yeah, I'm giving you. It's not the geographer. You can apply this in other part of the social science departments. You can work on this. But this is what I'm explaining in a detail because this is one of the examples. So this is an example. It doesn't mean this is only for geographers. So such kind of projects you can design. I will quote another example, which is related to social science, pure social science. I will quote some other examples.
One example,
Yeah.
two examples.
Two more examples as well. Yes. So I mean, I'm giving you this just to get an idea what need to be there in the research project. It doesn't mean everybody should design a project that should they should be related to the geography discipline. No, it doesn't mean. But this is just an idea, floating idea, so that everybody should get an idea that how a research project could be designed. So this is an background information. Here you can see he divided this project into two phases. One phase is the development of SDSS based web-based system. First he will develop this system, that how it will works for the entire community for the dissemination purpose. So this is one part he worked. Based on this he developed another part, that I will collect the data from the UAV, means EV, fly vehicle. I will collect the data. That data will be stored in the repository for analysis. Then after that it will be analyzed in the GIS, and finally it will be placed on the internet so that on-field rescuer teams should see it, the data, the real world situation. So I mean, he divided this project into two phases. In first phase I will do this, in the second phase I will do this. So this is a realization of the project and justification of the project so that the reviewer could accept this project with this logic. So this is the another part of the project. Then impact of the project. Students will benefit, teacher will benefit, department will get benefit out of this. The labs will strengthen it, new instrument will be added to the existing labs, new data will be added, new repository will be added to the system, collaboration will develop between the geography department, meteorology department, social science department with community department. So how different organizations will be linked to this project, how it will impact different area, how the industry and academia linkages will be developed. You are working on certain industrial project, how you will link this with the industries so that they should get benefit out of this project and they sponsor this project. So means different areas are there. How the government will get benefit out of it in terms of policy development, in terms of organization strengthening, in terms of so many departments will get benefit out of these projects. So this is another impact. So you can aid the manpower benefit, means the capacity of student will build, the capacity of teachers will build, the capacity of organizations will build. So you will link this with the impact so that it can be easily measured. So I referred this earlier. They try to link your research project with the student productions, that I will produce one master student. This is a measurable impact. One student, master student, will get research thesis on this project. Another doctorate student will work on this project. So he will also submit thesis on this particular project. So producing one master student, one PhD student, two master students. So this is a measurable area. So you can convince the grant giving organization that these are the measurable impact of my research project. Collaborative organization or collaborating organization. What other government organization you will involve in this project and they will get benefit out of it? Like for example, in every country there are emergency response team, but there is no system of this aerial vehicles. So with this instrument, what will happen? The capacity of emergency response organization, it will build, it will improve, it will enhance the capacity of these national organizations. So this is another part of the research project. So collaborative linkages will develop between the academia and government organizations. Academia and industry, academia and students production, academia and graduates production. So you can link this with the collaboration organizations. Facilities and funding. Very important part of the project. While justifying your projects, you will say that in geography department, we have already GIS lab. So this will convince the research grant giving organization. But we will need ArcGIS software 10.5. We have the GIS lab, we have the computer systems, but we need the software. Here you will justify that up to this limit we have the ability and capacity, but we need only this thing. So this is another part of the research project, so you can convince. Here you can see the requirement. I need images, satellite images. I need web-based application development students. So I need these areas. So you can pinpoint the available and required. What is available in your department and what you require for this project. When you give that the available facilities, we have these available facilities, but we require only this one, it will be a very good justification for the grant giving organization. This is another part. Here you can see the estimated budget given the principal investigator. You can see here 40% he will get, 30% of 1 month salary he will get. So in 1 year he will get only this part. You see here. Again, the permanent equipment, how many permanent equipments you need. Since fly swiveling UAV 2, you need 2, and then the portable hard disk and portable drive, manage remote sensing servers. You see here some other literature, stationaries and other projects. This is Gantt chart. It's a 2-year project. So you will divide this project into different zones. What you will do when? Means in first 2 months you will do this. In second 2 months you will do this. In 3 months you will do this. In 4th month you will do this. You can see here some part of the Gantt chart where you can divide, phase-wise you can divide the projects into different phases. So I reviewed this project. This project was submitted to me back in 2016. I reviewed this project and there was separate pro forma. So I'm giving you the Proforma, project review proforma. This is the project review proforma. I mean, you should take into consideration how this project will be evaluated by the reviewer, so that you should properly kept in mind those areas. So like for example, this is review report. First one, I was asked that look into this project, its significance, means how important is the project activity to advancing knowledge and understanding within its whole field or across different disciplines. This was one question. I was there to answer this question, whether this project fulfilled the requirements and objectives of the project, how this project is designed. Sometimes the project is rejected because they lack this significance. One, second significance. If the aim of the applications are achieved, how will the current state knowledge be advanced? How it will help in the existing knowledge? How improvement will be there? And then third one, to what extent does the proposed project activity suggest and explore creative and original concept? Some new ideas are there? Some new innovations are there or not? So this is one part of the review. Significance of the project means importance of this project, how far it fulfilled the requirements of the existing program. Approach means the methodology and the proposed activity. How this proposed activity is. Are the conceptual framework, design, methods and analysis well conceived and developed? Second one, how well organized is the proposed project activity? Third one, does the researcher, individual or team, have suitable facilities and appropriate resources to perform the proposed research work? This third one is very, very important one. This third one is very, very important one. Is asking from the reviewer. In Pakistan, every project proposal is submitted along with their curriculum vitae, means CV. Everybody will have to submit detailed CV, so that reviewer should go through the CV whether that person can do this project or not. Here this question is asked, do the researcher or individual or team have suitable facilities and appropriate resources to perform the proposed research work? Whether they can do this research work or not. This question is asking. So your curriculum vitae means CV, it should be properly designed according to the requirements of this project. Otherwise the project will be rejected, because you have some good ideas but you have very poor potentials to do that research. So for that very reason you have to redesign, redevelop your CV according to this project proposal. So that will hit the reviewers that yes, he can do this work, he has the potential, he already done such kind of research projects. And the last one is the proposed budget adequate. Look, it's a big ambitious plan is there. But is the proposed budget adequate? It is sufficient to fulfill this project activity, to accomplish the project? Neither or, means is more project, more fund he is demanding, or it is underestimated, means a very little demand is there. Look into both the aspects. Expert, reviewer, he will look into both the aspects, whether the project budget is over or it is underestimated. If it is underestimated, he will suggest that no, the project budget is very small, very little for this project. Or he will suggest, no, it's very high ambitious plans, very high budget is proposed. He can do this work with this little budget. So then this is another part of the project. Then investigator, look, this is very important one I earlier referred. How well qualified is the proposer, individual, to conduct the project? whether he can do or this team can do this project or not. So the investigators are in. What are the broader impact of the proposed activity? To what extent will it enhance the infrastructure for research, such as facilities, instrument, network, and partnerships? Will the result be disseminated broadly to enhance the scientific and technological understanding, education and training, economy, and journal? What may be the benefit of the proposed project activity to the society? Which, for the social sciences, is very, very important one. Any project you are trying to submit, please link that with the society, with the community. How the community will get benefit out of it. How community will be benefited from this research project. So academically it is very important to link the project with the society, particularly in the social science field, particularly in the applied research areas, in the applied science. Review of the budget estimates. He is asking from the reviewer whether the salary area, the proposed is this one. What do you recommend? You want to reduce it? You want to enhance it? Then permanent equipment, you want to reduce, you want to enhance. Then the expendable supplies, other literature, documentation, local travel, miscellaneous. So this is the proposed, what is proposed by the project team, and what is your recommendations? You want to reduce it or you want to enhance it? And this is the final part of the reviewer. Whether you accept this research proposal in current form or you accept with minor revision, doesn't require any re-review, but there is minor revision in the project. Requires major revision, will be sent to reviewer again, last and final chance, and the last one is, it is reject. So four possibilities are there. One possibility is accept in current form, accept with minor revision, require major revisions, and the last one is reject. That's not very much. Yeah. It's very, very complex. So this is the review process. Yes. So I gave some of the one example of the HEC research project proposal, and then based on that I have shown one project which is submitted, and then finally I have shown the rating and scaling of the project, review of the project. So I mean, while you are designing your research project, take into account this reviewer part of the project, so that reviewer could properly answer to your projects. So this is another part of the review. So what do you want to say?
Tambahan aja mungkin. Oh iya, Mam. Tadi beliau baru saja menyampaikan sudut pandang lain dari, kalau selama ini kita mungkin lebih konsen ke proposal kita, tapi dia memberi sudut pandang lain dari sisi reviewernya. Kira-kira apa yang harus kita persiapkan untuk bisa menjawab pertanyaan-pertanyaan dari reviewernya itu sehingga proposal kita itu bisa di-accept. So Atta, they would like to make discussion.
Yes.
So untuk Bapak Ibu yang mungkin punya pertanyaan, monggo silahkan.
It is nice information and nice example for us, but it is very difficult to do. Very complicated because there are many requirements for do research, collaborative research. For example, if I send only 20 pages of proposal research, but after reviewer said that you must give information about it also. Maybe to answer this answer for ask for from reviewer maybe 100 pages. to explain what region mean. It is any example for this. Jadi, proposal, we send proposal only 20 pages. But after reviewer said that you have explained about this. Maybe my answer 100 pages to read it. It is very difficult. We are familiar about component operation, but it is difficult to do that because maybe we have many obstacles for us. I would like to ask. There is one example about geography. It is multi-years, and maybe very difficult to me to make a budget. On maybe facilities as well, still like maybe make collaborative with another organization, because we have any leaking about facilities.
Thank you for your nice comments and pinpointing some important area. Usually, research project is evaluated by 3 experts, not by 1. When 3 reviewers evaluate the project, the decision occurs on majority. What out of 3, what 2 says. So based on that decision, the project is recommended by the organizations. Sometimes you find reviewers all the times negative. Yes, it's humanity, it's human being. Human nature is there. But not all human beings are negative. Some positives you can also find. Majority positive people you can find. So I mean, whenever I reviewed the project, I made suggestions instead of saying there are shortcomings, it is not recommended. I suggested that if you these things, please include these things, and it will be easy for you to do this research. So I suggested some key areas rather than explaining things. I believe on some good presentations rather than writing so many pages. It will be difficult for a person to read 100 pages, but it will be very easy for a person to see just the diagram showing the process, how he will do this process. So I mean, instead of explaining things, writing things in pages and pages, just develop a sketch diagrams. What will be the stages? What will be the process of this research project? So instead of writing 20 pages, you can develop one good network of the process. So maybe I communicated properly whatever you said. Regarding the very specialized geographic area research project, I was just giving you an example. This was not rather to discourage the other social scientists, rather to encourage you. This is one of the typical examples. You can do the same within the social science field as well. So, if you are ready, I will go to the next presentation. Collaborative linkages between the 2 nations on the science and technology. This was one of the US, Pakistan's, United States Science and Technology Research Project grant. This grant was given on the basis of idea that there will be 2 partners, one from Pakistan, another from the US. And both the partners should either be from the degree awarding institutions or from the industry. That may either be from the engineering field or from the science, any other field, or from the social science field. And there was no restriction. Anybody can apply so that he should or she should have a partner in another country. So this was jointly sponsored by the US and Pakistan Science and Technology Ministry. So this is one of the example I am quoting this. So I reviewed this project, that's why I am quoting one of these as an example. So therefore in the last you will see the review process as well of this project.
Sebelum kita melanjutkan ke presentasi selanjutnya, masih ada pertanyaan lain dari Bapak Ibu? Kalau tidak ada, please.
So again, I'm giving you just the contents of this project. What different contents was there in this project? Title was there. Field and subject area of the project was there. Project duration was there, whether it is 1-year project, 2-year project. Then investigators means the local, means the partner from the Pakistan side and partner from the US side. Project summary with full justification. We already discussed this last time. Then project description, we discussed already the background and rationale of the project. Every research project has their different pro forma. But usually you will find all these things in all the pro forma. There is certain similarities are there. Background and rationale, problem statements, we already discussed this one. Experience and capability of the investigators means the principal investigator and the co-principal investigators. Pakistan side and US side means both in both the countries, whether they have capabilities and potentials to do this research project or not. Scope and objectives, we discussed this already. Methods of data collection, techniques of data analysis, and then relevance to the program objectives. The program objective was strengthening science and technology in both the countries and sharing the knowledge. Benefit to the country or community means the project impact is there. It's very important part, benefit to the country and benefit to the community, or benefit to the institution, benefit to the industry, benefit to the science and technology field, benefit to aiding to the existing knowledge. So what type of benefits are there? Then Gantt chart was there, monthly breakdown, and then you can see the equipments in the budget breakdown. There was equipments and instruments, consumables. You can see here in this budget, there is no earned area. In this budget, there is no earned area. But in the previous budget, there was earned area, 15 days per year. Here you can see equipment and instrument, consumables, services, travel, supporting personnel, and the miscellaneous things. This was the project. There was shortage of energy crisis in Pakistan. Shortage of energy production, shortage of electricity in the country, shortage of power resource in the country. So he worked on the energy sector, how this project will help in the energy production. So first of all, he tried to develop the indigenous energy resources in Pakistan. Both the partners are there, Pakistan side partner is there, US partner is there. But you can see here, the project is based on Pakistan. It's not on US, rather it is on Pakistan. Because the US is trying to support Pakistan in terms of different supporting academic projects. Here you can see the development project title is there. Pakistan side expert and US side expert is there. Then the project background and summary is there. And other developments. Then project description is there, background and the rationale of the project is there. Then problem statement is there. You can see here there is written as energy crisis is one of the biggest threats Pakistan is going to face in the next decade. The current energy crisis is just the beginning of the problem. Dependence on the imported fuel has worsened the problem. So these are some of the problem statements identified. Then prior experience capability of the investigators. What type of potentials this investigator has. You can see here their past accomplishments. So many accomplishments by the institution, by the investigators. Scope and objectives of the project. The sources of data and the secondary objectives. You see here some of the primary objectives, some of the secondary objectives are there. Then methods. First, data collection is there. Analysis is there. What different tools will be used to analyze the data. And then the training will be conducted in 2 levels. Different levels. Its relevance. Additional benefits to the projects. What additional benefits will be there. Then the timetables, the matters and budget requirements. You can see different equipments purchase, solar power and wind energy collections, database formulation, start of the web designing and development. You can see here different phases are there. In January, what will be done? Project start, contract signing, and then you can see each and every component is there, and what will be the, how much it will occur means for 6 months, for 2 months, for 3 months, for 6 months. You can see here, update the web portal, December, October, November, you can see here. Then another for the next year, 2 years, so this was a 3-year project. So based first year, the second year, the third year. So you can see all the project phase-wise distribution of the project breakdown, month-wise you can see here. Then the budget requirements. Equipments are there, so many equipments are there. Then the consumables are there, services are there. You can see here the services, travel, support person, miscellaneous are there. So this is the overall budget you can see here. And then there was a review process. And for that review process, it is very much similar to the, in this review process there was rating. Project title, relevance to the program objectives, scientific and technical merits, what was the strength of this project, what was the potentials and limitations of this project, then capabilities of partner institutions and individuals, and then nature of collaboration between the partner organization, whether their partner organization collaboration, it will be for the long term or it will restrict to the short term. So long term benefit are there. So capacity building of the partner organizations, review rating, so you can see here the objectives, relevance of the programs. So I read this, all this with special reference to their objectives. I mean in the last you can see it is whether this project is highly relevant to the objectives of this program, whether it is marginally relevant or it is irrelevant to the. So here you can see if there is any comments. Then please consider the scientific and technical merit. This is a very important part of it. Because the project it was launched by the Ministry of Science and Technology. So they are looking to the scientific and technical merits of this project. Technical feasibility of carrying out this project. What is the strength of this project? What is the limitations? Capability of the partner institutions and individuals, whether they are capable to do this project or not. So you can see here some of the project benefits. Nature of collaboration is there. Cost effectiveness of the project, another part of the project. and then finally the reverse. And this is the last part of this rating process. Superior proposal, highly recommended for award of grant. Proposal meet requirement, recommend, grant award if funds are available. Means it is second priority project. Then proposal should be revised and resubmitted to a future round. Proposal is weak or inappropriate, do not recommend grant award or resubmission. This is the final part of the review process. You can see here some of the collaboration between the two organizations, two countries, Ministry of Science and Technology Pakistan, Ministry of Science and Technology US, how they can collaborate and develop the linkages program and work on the joint projects. This is second project, Pak US, Ministry of Science and Technology Research Grant Program.
It is also nice example. But for example, Universitas Negeri Semarang joint research with the University in Pakistan. Do you have any idea how to propose in order to our research here is accepted by university in Pakistan? We have an idea. For example, maybe we write a proposal, and then would you like to crack it is nice or nice? And then the second step maybe discussion, focus group discussion in UNES, and then the proposal sent to your university, for example, in order to our proposal, research proposal is accepted, maybe. Thank you very much.
Actually, quote one of the example that in Pakistan several organizations are there which have close link with our neighboring countries, with the European countries. But there are so many other platforms that provides opportunities between the Muslim countries, like OIC. It's one of the platforms. They are already advertised, recently they advertised research grant for the science and technology between the two Muslim countries. This is one of the good platforms, and it's available. It is already advertised by the OIC. There's very good opportunities for the Indonesia and Pakistan to explore this idea and to work on the science and technology fields under the platform of the OIC, Organization of the Islamic Country. This is one example. In Pakistan, there is Pakistan Science Foundation. And Pakistan Science Foundation has signed MOU with almost 70 countries. I do hope they have signed an MOU with Indonesia. I will check it. But they signed MOU with 70 countries. Pakistan Science Foundation, similarly with China Science Foundation, with Nepal Science Foundation. In so many countries you will find these science foundations. So they have signed MOU and they are working on joint research projects, both the countries. So they are 50-50 sponsoring these projects. The third perspective, in every country there is Academy of Sciences. In Pakistan, there is Pakistan Academy of Sciences. In Asia, there is Asian Association of Science Societies under the science program, and the headquarters is in Korea. So they joined all the science academies. And Indonesia, obviously Indonesia will have science academy. So Asia Science Academy, Pakistan and Indonesia Science Academy, they will have a joint MOU, because every science academy has prerogative to science to join MOU with all the countries in the world, those who have the science academies. There is another academy we call this the World Academy of Sciences. So all the science academies in each country, they are linked with the World Academy of Sciences. They are registered with the World Academy of Sciences. So under the World Academy of Sciences, the two countries and their science academies can work on a joint research project. So honest, they can explore these areas and can work with Pakistani universities under the umbrella of OIC, under the umbrella of science academies, under the umbrella of Academy of Sciences. So these are some of the areas. Even embassies, like for example in Pakistan, I submitted one project to JICA, and that project, it was advertised by the Embassy of Japan in Pakistan. So I submitted that project to JICA, to Embassy of Japan, and I put one investigator from Japan, from Kyoto University, from where April and me graduated. So there was one co-principal investigator from Kyoto University. So that project was accepted because the partner organization was there. So I mean, the embassies can also work under the umbrella of science and technology.
One thing to put people who have like a forward to
Yes,
make this.
yes. So these are some of the avenues available for the research project proposal persons who want to submit research project proposal. These are some of the areas.
Thank you very much, Mr. Atta. Nice to meet you. It is great discussion, yeah, because you are very complete in your explanation about the research. I would like to continue the question from Mr. Rahman, exactly because I'm from civic education and also character education. Do you have ideas? Civic education.
Civic education.
Yes, that's civic education.
Okay.
Do you have ideas how to put the research collaboration in this theme? That was. And secondly, really I would like, I interest to join your discuss last week, yeah, about the article. Really, I have also the article from our research. If not for you, I would like you to review this article.
Sure.
Thanks before.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much for your nice comments. I really appreciate your comments. Really, it was target-oriented comments. Collaborative linkages you will find wherever you find opportunities. This time I found an opportunity. The Ministry of Higher Education invited me to honest. So now I will try to explore the areas where we can jointly work on certain collaborative research projects. So these are the opportunities. It is gradually explored, but it needs to be started from some points. So already Geography Department has taken a start, and I do hope it will not stop. It will continue forever, inshallah. Regarding your research article, it will be my pleasure to review your article, but it will be in the list. I already received 13 articles. It will be at serial number 14.
I see.
So, inshallah, I shall try my level best. If I didn't evaluate it here, I will go back to my country. Even there, I have got opportunity. I will review it, inshallah. I will not disappoint you.
Thanks.
Thank you. So,
Would you like to explain about Jurnal International in Pakistan? In our view, maybe we can send many articles to this journal.
yes,
International with Scopus.
yes. In Pakistan, there are journals listed in ISI index. There are journals indexed with Scopus. There are journals indexed with Journal Citation Report. There are journals recognized by the Higher Education Commission based on their evaluation criteria. There is one organization we call it Higher Education Commission. They provide grants to all the universities in the country. So on their website, you will see more than 100 journals, research journals available there. And with each journal, they have written is whether it is in category X, category Y, category Z, category W. So every journal has its own categorization, means its rating is already there. You can see in each university you can find 6, 7, 8 research journals. But some are registered with Scopus, some are registered with ISI, some have impact factors. So it varies. So looking to your research topic, you will go through the research journals. Which one is most suitable to your research article? For example, you have worked on this, typically on the social science field, and you want to submit this to the technology journal. Obviously, it will not be suitable there. So you will go through the list of research journals and you will look into its suitability, where it gets fit and more suitable. So where it is more suitable, so they will have more attractions there. In Pakistan, every research paper, when it is submitted to the journal, editorial board, initially it is reviewed by the editorial board. Then it is sent to 3 reviewers, one within Pakistan, 2 in technically advanced countries. So after getting response from 3 reviewers, if majority thinks it is acceptable, so then it is published in that journal. So every journal has its own review in pro forma. So I think it's not that difficult to publish article in the journals published by Pakistani universities.
Mr. Atta, during your stay in Semarang, fortunately near from my house in Batman, staying there. Yeah.
The same village. Sama perempuannya apa enggak?
Iya, saya Batman.
Rahman.
Beside Universitas Negeri Semarang, I have also community in another university, Muhammadiyah University Semarang. And based on Islamic values. So I will get a law from Mr. Devi. How if one day you also give a great discuss in line with the develop article journal, article international in our community, Muhammadiyah University. But Muhammadiyah University of Semarang is one of private university under Muhammadiyah organization, Muhammadiyah movement.
This is the direct invitation from the president of Muhammadiyah University.
Jadi tapi harus izin dulu sama Bu Devi sebagai founder.
Devi permitted.
Thank you, Professor. It's really very good offer. Please, that you are trying to give me an opportunity. I have no objection if the geography department honestly allow me and give me this opportunity. I have no objection. But I'm entirely and solely committed with the honest, with the Department of Geography, and especially Professor Devi is there. So I have no objection if the Department of Geography and the honest have no obligations and no restriction. It was my pleasure even to visit the Muhammadiyah University, typically the Muslim culture and Muslim really it was my pleasure. So later on you can talk with Nas. I have no objection. Especially I did.
Thanks before.
Before now.
Your article
Yeah.
is accepted.
Inshallah.
Thank you very much. I think it is sufficient for today. It's okay. And the third presentation is also available with Satya. He will give you the printout of that if you need. So already I have given the soft copy of it. He will take printout of it, and if you need it, he will give you the printout of that. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining me and for listening to me for almost 1.5 hours. It was really a tough, hard topic for dissemination, for communication. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
We are making picture.